the historian. He's been out with his metal detector, but he's going to talk about death by pigs. G'day there, Harold.
Yeah, good morning, Danny. I have been out with a metal detector in the bush, but keeping one eye out for some pigs, because I know what they can do, and I don't want to be subject to that.
You don't want to be snorted on by a pig.
No, and look, there's a horrible history of death by pigs, which I'll tell you about today if you want.
Yes, I want to know about death by pigs.
Yeah, look, it seems the whole of Australia and beyond has been in the grip of gruesome death by pigs for more than a century. However, it's a different story here in Ipswich, and I'll tell you about that.
Yeah.
But first of all, in 1953, a 20-year-old shearer, Charles Edward Humphreys, went for a walk on Christmas Day outside of Windora in Western Queensland, and mysteriously was never seen again. It was decided by police that he'd been eaten by pigs. Now, even in lovely environments, on the islands like Samoa, in 1933, a 14-month-old baby boy was killed and eaten by the family pig. In Auckland, in New Zealand, in 1925, a farmer's wife, Catherine Patterson, had just slaughtered a chicken when her family pig took offence and attacked her. The pig persisted in biting her to death. In 1917, at Batlow, west of Canberra, 17-year-old James Frizzle left home in a sledge drawn by two horses. He was later found 2 miles away, dead and partially eaten by pigs. Look, 1917 was a bad year because 47-year-old piggery worker William Keys was another victim of a pig that year. He died in Royal Prince Alfred Hospital in Sydney after being bitten behind the knee by a pig. Now, septic arthritis set in, and he died a horrible, painful death. But I don't remember seeing that on the hospital's RPA television series, do you?
No, not at all.
No. They left the pig out. Now, in 1905, the 9-month-old baby Albert Joseph Harrison would have been eaten alive if not for the offending pig being chased by his mother. But the boy was on the veranda of the family farmhouse near Colac in Western Victoria when he was seized by a pig, which ran off with him into the bush. But the boy's arms, both the boy's arms and one leg were eaten to a pulp, and tragically, the wounds proved fatal. And in 1954, that's when an Ipswich man did his best to join the long list of death by pig. Now, it was Leslie Wolski. He was a coal miner of Alice Street in Silkstone. He was on his motorbike heading to work at the Mount Elliott Collieries. A farm pig scampered along the road at about 6:30am directly into the path of Wolski. Both the motorcyclist and the pig went flying. Now, Wolski was left with a serious condition. He was in a very serious condition, hospital with a fractured skull, abrasions to the back and elbow, and concussion. His bike was totally destroyed. It was mangled. The pig escaped with a few scratches, but later died from its injuries. And so the police in 1954 made another entry into their file marked accidents caused by animals. You see, in the previous year in Queensland, animals were blamed for 953 accidents, causing 4 deaths and 187 injuries. In fact, in the months leading up to the Ipswich pig incident, a further 2 people were killed and 79 were injured in collisions with cattle, horses, dogs, cats, pigs, and even kangaroos. Wolski, however, he fortunately survived and lived to his 75th year. But look, he'd earlier been charged with having committed a serious offence, which was never publicly named, but no indictment was ever made. His son, Alan Wolski, had been killed in a head-on car crash, and his father, Henry Wolski, had been killed when he fell off his horse. So for Leslie Wolski, surviving a collision with a pig was a relatively easy thing to do. So, Danny, it seems while the rest of the country is struggling to avoid being killed and eaten by pigs, here in Ipswich, we are made of sterner stuff.
Oink, oink. What a great yarn. And the research this man must have been hanging around piggeries all around Brisbane and Ipswich.
Oh, look, I haven't had bacon for breakfast for ages after researching this.
Love bacon. All right, mate, so how do we get to hear about this and all the other stories you've written over the last 5 years for us?
Yeah, look, you can go to the socials and look for History Out There, or you can go online direct to the website, historyouthere.com.
Historyouthere.com. There he was, Harold the H. P. Cock-a-doodle-doo, exclusive to West Bremer Radio. It's 8:17.